You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. It's something about sort of the gaming drag today. I'm coming back at you to the Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir, Oscar's Path. So yeah, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming not safe for work videos. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Ooh, excuse me, alarm chain, you were up and let's go. Alright. He truly meant that, I could tell. Nathan looks just as satisfied as he gives me a big smile, though his grows even larger when I return one of my own. Oscar gives him a wiggle of his eyebrows and nudges him, to which they get into a small scuffle alongside some whispering I can't hear. With that discussion out of the way, I feel like I have a better understanding of what happened between Nathan and Oscar. It sounded like a case of unfortunate timing. I wonder if things would have just been a usual hookup if nothing happened to Conrad. Then again, it sounds like the hookup might not have happened at all if Conrad was still around. We spent another hour just talking, though it was mostly Oscar and Conrad chatting sports. They tried their best to keep me involved, and I followed along enough to get the gist of what they were saying, but I was more lost than not. Though we did end up changing over the topic of music after I learned that Nathan could play guitar. I'd always wanted to see someone play in real life, but everyone I knew who played an instrument went with something more, formal. Lord. Oh, goodness. Ow. All on my face. He offered to show me some time, and Oscar immediately accepted for the two of us. But as the time gets closer to 3, I can tell that Nathan's getting a little antsy to leave. He's been checking his phone more frequently, and Oscar's been noticing it as well. Need to head off soon? You're looking a little jumpy there, man. Yeah, sorry, I just had some plans with the guys soon. We always go out on Saturdays as a group. Ryan, Carter, Wilf, and whoever Wilf decides to rope into it. After what happened between us, I told Ryan about how lonely I've been feeling with Conrad gone. He told Carter and they made a plan to keep me up. So every Saturday we go out to have fun. Though it's never partying. Carter's rules. Oh god. Get this out of my face. Okay, there we go. Boo! Yeah, but that's Carter for you. He's always a bit of a stick in the mud, but he's a good guy. There's a reason we made him team captain after all. I'm glad you have good friends to take care of you. It sounds like you have some pretty good ones too. I'd love to meet the rest of them sometime, but I should really head off. He starts to get up but hesitates, his brow furrowing. He stays there and ponders for a few moments. I'm about to ask him what's wrong, but he replies before I can. Do you think, if Helena had closer friends, would she have done what she did? I thought she did have pretty close friends. Then why did she do it? Why would she hurt them? Conrad was a good guy, and while I don't know Quinn too much, he was always nice to me too. I don't know. Words are left hanging there as the mood plummets. I can tell that Oscar's considering saying something, but he stops when Nathan slides out of his chair. Leaning over to place a hand on my shoulder. Sorry, that wasn't fair. I've gotten over it for the most part, I swear. Part of me just wishes we had more answers, you know? Wish I knew what was going through her head. Thank you. Coffee time. If we find anything, I'll let you know. You really don't have to, but I know you will. You're a good guy, Wallace. I know Conrad would have liked you. You think? Of course he would have. I always tell you this, but you never listen, man. You're a really smart guy. What the big guy said. I'll catch you two later. Don't be a stranger, either of you. Thanks, Oscar, for coming to talk. It means a lot. It's no stress, man. For what it's worth, I really am sorry. I can promise you, I don't want to hurt people. Wallace will be safe with me. I know you won't. And I'd always imagined you as some asshole fuckboy who just thought with his dick. You're not the only one. But I think you're a pretty cool guy. So keep in touch, both of you. I'll never turn down new friends. Nathan gives us a final wave before heading out the door. The two of us are left alone at the table, though it's hard to say we're truly alone with all the people around. I've never had a problem with crowds, but not like Lucas does anyway, but there's a limit to how much I'd want to spend somewhere. And with us getting closer and closer to the evening, even more students are filing in. Thankfully, Oscar seems to notice my dilemma and comes to my rescue. You want to get out of here? You look a little stressed. If you wouldn't mind, it's getting a bit overcrowded. Then let's get out of here. Come on! He wastes no time, scooping me out of my chair, not considering for a second that everyone's going to stare. He starts to lift me to my feet, but keeps his arm around my neck. My face is a flustered mess that peeks through my fur as he guides me out of the bar. He's radiating enough confidence for the both of us that people only give us a passing glance. We raced out of the bar and down one of the paths, dodging out of the way of the students and laughing the whole time. It's such a silly moment that reminds me of Marcus dragging me along after he convinced me to prank one of his friends. Eventually, we arrive at the courtyard and take a break where there isn't as many students. I remember this from when he took me to the pool on Wednesday, though similar to the rest of the campus, it's still bustling with students. No wonder Oscar prefers going to that bar. It's only a short distance away from the pools. You can imagine he probably goes there right there after his practice sessions, whether he's supposed to be at them or not. It's not like he's ever worried about smelling like chlorine anyway. It's part of his charm, I suppose. Something unabashedly him. Much better out here, ain't it? I thought you liked crowds. I do, but you were getting a little jittery. We can't have that. The mission today was to give you a fun day out. I thought the mission was to cheer Nathan up. That was just a little bonus, man. You've been so focused on this diary mess that you've been letting it get to your head, so today is a break, just for you. I didn't realize you were so worried about me. I think everyone's worried, man. Papa Bear called me last night and told me to take care of you. I didn't realize I was stressing everyone out. I didn't mean to... Hey, man, stop that. He wraps an arm around my neck in a familiar pose and drags us down to the grass below us. We're matching most of the other students around who are sitting around on the grass and benches, hanging out with their friends. It's our job to worry, but it's your job to get cheered up. Is it working? Yeah, it's working. That's a point to me. On to the next one. The next one? Are you still worried about the whole Nathan thing? It looked really mess you up. I kind of regret trying to find out about Conrad if I knew it was going to make things weird. But then you and Nathan wouldn't have made up. Yeah, you're right. I'm glad I did that. I never meant to hurt anyone. I always let them know it was casual and nothing more. Some people just get the wrong idea. Don't you think that's a little unfair? What, I sleep around? Plenty of people do it. We're in college, man. It's time for fun, you know? No, not that. You don't just hook up with them. You completely lock them out. Nathan said you wouldn't even talk to him. Why didn't you just explain what happened? Oscar didn't answer that, and for a moment I thought I could see him getting upset. His eyes gleamed with hurt and a little bit of anger, but it's only there for a moment before it fades. I don't want to deal with all that, okay? But, Oscar... Wallace, please, I don't want to deal with it. It was enough to shut down the whole conversation, and we sat there in silence, watching the groups in front of us laughing together or sharing a large batch of food. It was enough to make the guilt build up in my chest about trying to force that out of Oscar. Someone warned me that he didn't like to think about things that made him upset. That's not a very healthy way to view things. When I tried to ignore everything after, when I tried bottling things up, it didn't work too well. I just isolated myself and got worse. I don't want to see Oscar like that, but pushing him like this clearly isn't helping. It's just going to make him push me away, and neither of us wants that. Oscar's been mulling around in his own head as he watches another group. This one is a child with them. Their mother looks young, but she looks so happy to be holding him. Shit, man, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought the mood down like that. No, it was my fault. I brought it up. There's a part of me that hopes that Oscar would disagree, and that I had a point about what he was doing, but he didn't say anything more. It was expected, but I wish he did all the same. Instead, he tightens his arm around me and falls down onto his back, dragging me along with him until we're both laying in the grass and staring up at the blue autumn sky. It's pretty nice. I don't relax often. Really? Yeah, most of my time is filled with swimming classes, and partying. Maybe I'd go to the gym if I had some free time, but I don't really do anything else, you know? What about your hobbies? Is swimming not a hobby? Damn, guess I've been doing it wrong all these years. I guess that's true. I just thought swimming was your job with how much you do it. I forgot you were going into economics. No, I wouldn't want to do swimming for a job. It's just what I do. That didn't sound entirely honest. He said it with conviction, and it doesn't sound like he's lying, but he shifts uncomfortably as he says it. Let's change the subject. We've had enough awkward talks already. It's like Oscar said. Today was supposed to be for fun. My brother and I used to do this a lot. He loved taking naps. He used to get in trouble for it all the time. Sounds like a guy who knows how to enjoy himself. Really? Everyone always used to say he was wasting his time. No one ever praised him for it. Mom used to get on his butt for it all the time. If he enjoyed it, it couldn't have been a waste of time, right? Oh, I get it. So it's like you swimming. You're doing it so much because you love it, so it's not overdoing it. You're just indulging in what you love. I thought I was going to get a resounding confirmation from him, but he just stares up at the sky. For a moment, I thought he didn't hear me, but he gives me a response eventually. Sure. We spent the rest of our day messing around campus. Oscar decides to give me a full tour of both the main and east campuses. I never realized just how many areas there were. Some campuses are gigantic. I've been to Stony Brook in New York. Yeah, I've been to Stony Brook in New York. It's pretty huge. He even showed me where club stalls would be opening up next week in case I wanted to do that. Not that I had any in mind, but it might be something fun to do in the future. By the time we explored everywhere, the sun had started to set. It wouldn't reach the horizon until 6, but that was our cue to head back. He's considered taking me swimming again, but he knew that Coach would be roaming around at this time, and it wasn't worth the hassle. Now, we're walking back towards my apartment from the main campus. Oscar didn't want to head back to the flat yet, and it's rather obvious as to why. I still haven't decided if I was going to do anything about it, and he wasn't pushing me or even asking me if I wanted to. He's just been letting me take the lead. It's sweet that he isn't pressuring me, but the whole thing is a little overwhelming. I know it's stupid, and Oscar even said that it didn't have to be anything more than what I wanted. Doing good there, man? You look like you're about to pass out. Yeah, just, thinking about things, I guess. Thinking about tonight? Yeah, I'm a little scared. Hey, man, I told you, we don't have to do anything. We can just chill, and I can head home in an hour or two. It really doesn't have to be anything. I know, but... Alright, that's it. No more thinking about it. Come on, little dude, just forget about it. I don't want you stressing about it anymore. You're removing the offer? I'm not removing it if you want it. I'm just telling you to stop thinking about it so much. Just if you ever feel it, just let me know. Be real, I wish I didn't come on so strong. You got so focused on that, I started to overthink everything. This is exactly why I avoided sleeping with friends. I didn't want it to complicate things. But you wanted to with me, not with Selwyn? Oscar hesitates, and I can tell he didn't have an immediate answer for that. For a moment, I thought he might brush it off, but he looks to be in serious thought as we continue our walk back to my apartment. But as I see my building a few blocks away, he finally answers, though I feel like he doesn't look as happy as his tone implies. You're different. Selwyn's probably my best friend, but something about you makes me feel like, being myself. You always say that. I don't really see what's so appealing about me. We'll work on that confidence of yours, man. You gotta learn to take a compliment. Huh? You can ask any of the guys and gals we hang out with. They'll tell you that you're amazing. But Lee worries about you because he sees how good of a person you are. No way Lucas would be friends with any of us if it wasn't for you. Lily and I saw it immediately, too. You're a kind person, but you've also got this fire that's exciting. Fire? That makes Oscar burst into motion. He spins on me with a massive grin on his face, forcing us to stop. All that momentary hesitation I saw hidden away in his eyes is completely gone. Of course! You're sweet, but you have a feisty side I love to see, even if it sometimes makes you lay into me. Really? I never really tried to... Exactly! That's all you! He slides up beside me and gives me a gentle tap with his tail to push me into continue walking. Oscar's following beside me, wearing the cheekiest grin on his face, and I can't blame him. Despite my worries just moments ago, he's already improved my mood immensely. Why had I been so worried about sleeping with Oscar anyway? It wasn't like that was the point of our friendship. I wanted to be around him because he was fun and interesting and made me feel good about myself. He feels familiar, too. I know I've never met him before this week, but he reminds me of how things used to be back home. Back when I still enjoyed being here. There. It's gotten darker by the time we get back to my room, but neither of us mind. If anything, things feel even more relaxed between us than they did the first time he came here. I'd gotten so caught up in my own head regarding what Oscar and I were supposed to be doing that I stopped focusing on what I was already enjoying with him. He's someone I can feel like being myself with and actually enjoy it. Do you have any food around here that you wanted to make, or did you just want to order some? I'm always down for some pizza. Pizza does sound nice. Pizza time, pizza time, pizza time's the right time. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silverman. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to our gold tier patron, Armor. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to our ultimate tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to not safe for work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!